Hello, welcome to the cooking demo. Thanks for joining us. This is Christine from the Plant Life Canada, and this is another one of the weekly cooking demos I do on Wednesdays. I always try to make it really easy, cheap, and delicious. That's the whole idea of all these demos, is to show people how easy it is to eat some vegan food. And I have my proper camera working, and I have my laptop on so I can see your chats after. So it'd be really awesome if someone could pop in the chats and let me know that you can hear me, and then I can get started. Let's see if anybody is messaging me. You can hear me. And my dad is saying he can't see my face, but I don't know why, because it's right here. Maybe rotate your phone. I'm not sure. But I'm glad you guys can hear me, and I'm glad I have all my technical stuff going well today. I got all my ingredients ready to go. And today we are going to be making a sloppy Joe recipe, because I just thought of it when I was making my meal plan, and I thought it would be really easy to do. And it's something that you can make. This is going to end up making a lot of it for low cost, and you can actually just freeze it, because there's just Frank and I eating it, so there's no way we're going to eat it all. But it's great to have for leftovers, and it's great to freeze. And in the end, you can eat it on a bun. We're going to have ours on bagels. You can put it on rice, cauliflower rice. You could just throw it over some cooked potatoes. There's lots of stuff you could do with this type of dish. So that's why I thought it was great. So let's get started. Oh, I see the chat's going. So I'm going to show you guys the veggies, but I'm going to show you the other ingredients for the sauce and stuff as we go, so that we don't take too much time to get started. So let's see how my technical stuff goes with my camera today. So if you look at this, this is an amazing rainbow of stuff that we're going to put in. And it does look like a lot, but I had a lot of this stuff already sitting around the fridge, so it didn't take me too long to chop everything up. But one thing that's really great about eating plants is that you get this rainbow, and you get all of the nutrients, and you can just get so much out of an easy, simple recipe like this. I am making sloppy joes great again, because they are delicious. So I'll show you what we have going here. And we have our little bit of garlic. So I've got 2 whole bell peppers here. We've got our yellow and red, but you could use whatever you like. And I've got about half of a red onion here. And this is probably maybe half a cup of corn. And then we have, this is a leftover tomato I had that was going soft. So it's a really good way. This is, again, one of those recipes where you can kind of like get rid of all your leftover veggies. So that was a tomato that was going soft. Up here I have some chopped kale that I had in the freezer. So again, kale's really hard to get in. Not everybody likes it in salad. So what I do when I buy it is I chop it up and I freeze it on a cookie tray. And then I take it out of the freezer if I just want to chop it really small and like hide it in a recipe. And then I have some frozen peas. And then these guys are some brown lentils. So they're really great. These are brown small lentils, which I think are called French lentils. So they look like that in the can. And these are super cheap, easy to find at any grocery store. And I just rinse them out really well. So that's another big tip for you if you start cooking, if you're trying to go vegan and you start cooking with lots of like lentils and legumes and chickpeas and beans, is it does produce gas in your body. That's, no one's going to hide that from you. But it really helps if you rinse them really, really well before you cook them. So that is what we're going to use for the ingredients. So basically, we're adding more vegetables than maybe a normal sloppy joe recipe, and then we're using the lentils as kind of the meat substitute. And you could also probably make it with like a faux meat crumble if you want as well. So I have my pan going, and I'm going to see if I can move this over here so you guys can see better what we're doing here. So I have this pan, it's kind of like going on, and this is a non-stick pan. I'm actually going to cook some of the stuff with water. So even if you have a non-stick pan, you can always use water to like kind of help lube it up. So we're going to get that going. And I have mine, I'm going to turn mine up because we're short on time here, but we're going to get that softened up. And once we get that softened up, we can add in the other ingredients. So I'm just going to give it a stir in there. So you can see like this is already filling up my pan. It's going to be so much. So I'm going to turn that up. And then what we'll do while this is cooking up real nice is we're going to make our sauce. So I'll turn you guys back around here. And so in this sauce, I'm actually going to make it in a jar. I'm just trying to be a little bit easier. I guess you could call it lazy, but I just wanted it to be faster. So we're going to do everything in a jar and just shake it up. So what we have for that, so the basis of the sauce, we're going to knock everything over, but we're going to use some tomato sauce, just plain tomato sauce with no extra flavorings to it. And I'd probably say that's about a cup. And then a lot of sloppy Joe sauce will have like brown sugar in it. But if you're trying to watch your sugar, we're just going to add some ketchup because that'll give it a bit of sweetness that we want. So that's probably 2 tablespoons of that. We're also going to put in some regular mustard. You can laugh at the fart noises. So probably at least 2 teaspoons of that. And then we also are going to put in, some of the recipes call for Worcestershire sauce, which you can get vegan Worcestershire sauce, but tamari works just as well. And we're going to go with, I'm going to measure this one out. Surprise, surprise. So we'll do 1.5 tablespoons. If I was not doing a demo, I would just not measure this, but we'll measure it today. And then we're going to put in a little bit of black pepper. There we go. And then we're also going to do some chili powder. So I'm going to say at least 1 teaspoon of that. This stuff is, this container. I buy really fresh spices, and then they actually are a bit moist and they never come out of the container. So we probably have between 1 teaspoon and 2 teaspoons of the chili powder. And then I'm also going to put in some smoked paprika. I don't know if that's backwards to you guys on this new camera, but there it is again, sticking. So probably 1 teaspoon of that. And then I'm going to use some hot sauce, which this is a homemade hot sauce that's kind of like a sriracha style, but you can leave it out or put whatever hot sauce you want. So that's a good teaspoon or 2 of that. And then for this sauce as well, so we're going to have a lot of liquid from these veggies. So you can see all that in there, which I'm just going to stir right now real quick. So yeah, we're going to have a lot of liquid from these veggies, and I like my sloppy Joe sauce like really thick because I usually attempt to eat it like a sandwich, which is usually a mess. So we're going to add in 2 teaspoons of cornstarch. So you can, if you want to let it sit and cook and really cook out, don't add this. But if you want like a nice thick sauce right away, you're going to add some cornstarch. So probably like 2 teaspoons of that. And just as an aside, back to our veggies here, I'm going to add my garlic now. I can hear that sizzling away. So you can see I added a bit of water, but we're also getting water out of these veggies. So we're just going to stir the garlic in now. And again, water is fine, or if you have veggie broth, handy if you buy one of those Tetra packs of veggie broth, you can use that. So nice colors going on in here. And then now, since I can see the onions are softening down a bit, so I'm going to add the other vegetables in. So again, we've got our kale, frozen peas, our lentils, and the tomato. And the lentils are coming in. We can put them in later, like we are now, because you don't want them to get mushy. They're not cooked, but they're already ready to go, so you don't want them to get mushy. All right, so we're just going to dump that all in there. Maybe I should have chosen a bigger pan. Check this out. Yeah. So you can see you have that rainbow of colors, and you got your lentils in there. So this is awesome. So those are going to cook down. And so the peas and the kale and the lentils and the tomato, they're already soft. So we're basically just cooking them through. So that's not going to take long. So I will turn up the heat a teeny bit more. I have it on max now. And then we can go back to our sauce. So we've got all of our ingredients in here. So again, we've got our tomato sauce, ketchup, mustard, hot sauce, tamari, smoked paprika, chili powder, black pepper, and if you want to, you can put your cornstarch in here. And we're just going to shake it up. So the reason why I chose to do this in the jar and shake it up is so that the cornstarch will actually like stir into it, because it's really hard. Sometimes you add cornstarch to liquid and it just chunks up on you, and we don't want that. We just want it to thicken the sauce. So we're going to shake it, and that'll break up. Oh, we still have a bit of our cornstarch there. So let's shake that up. Probably would have been a good idea to put the cornstarch somewhere in the middle instead of on top, but we weren't thinking. There we go. So now you can see you have that really nice dark color of like the sloppy Joe sauce, as if you got it out of a can. It's so nostalgic from childhood. Let's check this out. Let's see if it tastes like my childhood. Oh yeah, that is awesome. The hot sauce in there is so good. And then it's just like a good mix of all the other flavors. It tastes very traditional, like the canned stuff, which actually, I haven't looked it up in a while. I think the canned stuff that you can get, like Sloppy Joe canned sauce, is actually accidentally vegan, so you should check that out. But this was a super quick way to make it just from stuff in the fridge. So very good sauce there. So let us check our cooking again. Look at that. Amazing. So you can smell the lentils. Lentils have tons and tons of iron and fiber. They're very good for you. And the iron in lentils is much better for your body than any iron you can get from animal products. The iron in animal products is actually called heme iron, and it's not good for your body. It actually promotes aging and the breakdown of your cells, which is not good. All right, so this is getting pretty heated through. I'm going to check one of my peas. The peas are still kind of cold, but we'll add the sauce in now. Right in the whole jar. So if you're making this yourself and you're making like a little bit less, or you don't have as many veggies, just judge the amount of the tomato sauce you're using. And worst case scenario, if you put too little sauce, you can add more tomato sauce as you go. So I would caution you to like maybe do a little bit less. But again, I just kind of chopped up what I had. I didn't measure too much. And so we're going to let that cook. And you can see the sauce is going to look pretty thick anyway. Oh, we have a runaway pea over here. So the best way to get all the flavor out of this, I've cooked it pretty fast for this demo, but I would have cooked this all on medium, and then I would turn this down way low and let it cook you know, as you do other stuff or like get your buns ready or what a nice thick sauce if you don't have time. Don't have time to sit around and let it cook. But this is nice and hot. Yeah, I love that. So you can see the thick sauce going through at the bottom there. Amazing. Lots of steam. So let's turn it. Oh, the smell is so good coming out of this steam. That sauce is just so awesome. It smells exactly like the old Sloppy Joe sauce. So I wonder if anyone's watching. I can see the chat. Has anyone ever like not had a Sloppy Joe? Is that a Canadian thing? Where did Sloppy Joes come from? I don't even know. I just remember eating them. Awesome. So let's get this. I have these bagels here, which are the Country Harvest bagels. So we get the flax and quinoa. Flax is really good for you, lots of fiber, and it actually helps with prostate cancer, actually. So if you're a gentleman watching or someone who has a prostate, eat lots of flax. So these are a great, this is a great vegan, accidentally vegan kind of bagel there. So that's what we're going to have ours on. I'm going to put mine on the side instead of a sandwich. So let's just grab that out of there and see. Look at that. Super thick sauce. And already a mess on my counter. What am I going to do? Look at that. Amazing. So then you can stick our bagel in there. You can kind of eat it on your bagel. Let's see if I can get my camera. I think I need to invest in like some sort of cool rig for my camera and like attach it to my wall or something. I'll have to start a Patreon account. Someone else can buy that. So look. Oh, I love the peas in there. But the sauce smell, and I'll edit the video later and put the ingredients, like everything that I put in the sauce. But the sauce is exactly the same flavor as from childhood. So let's see what it tastes like with all the veggies. So we've got our kale in there, super healthy kale, and all the stuff. Okay. If you do put hot sauce in the sauce itself, I would also caution to put less because as you cook it, the heat will intensify, and then you can always add hot sauce on top if you like. That is so good. That's really good, and even some of there's a little bit of the veggies that are still crisp, and you get that nice like bite. So one last tip I'll also give you guys while you're kind of cooking. I should have mentioned when I put the veggies in is when you're cooking something like this or any kind of dish, a big tip, because we know that like the look of it, so we had our rainbow, that's going to make us love the dish. And another thing is how you eat it. So when you're chopping up all these veggies, it's best to chop them up about the same size as the lentils so that everything is about the same size. Because if you had giant chunks of onion in this or giant chunks of peppers, it's not like nice to have this one giant chunk of a certain vegetable. So that's another tip for you. So good. So one last thing I want to show you guys that we got at Walmart Canada. So if you're in the GTA area, definitely look at Walmart. Is we found, I might put this on my sandwich, BioLife cheese slices. And because they're at Walmart, they're a little bit cheaper, but they're having so many more options now for vegan cheese, which is often really hard for people to switch up when you go vegan. So we have the smoked provolone, and there's a mature cheddar, and we even got a feta cheese, which we had last night, which was great. So just wanted to let you guys know if you're in Canada that Walmart is carrying that now. And I also heard that Sobeys was, so check it out. But anyway, that's it. Thank you. Another super short, easy recipe. I will edit the video soon with all the ingredients. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for always dealing with my crazy technical issues, which everything went well today. So that's good vibes coming from you guys out in YouTube land. And please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. If you click the notification bell, It'll let you know when I upload a new video, or if I book a go live, you can also put it on reminders so that it'll tell you when I'm going live. And you can find me on Instagram and Facebook. So that's it. Have a wonderful night, guys, and try the Sloppy Joe recipe. It's so good. If you do try the Sloppy Joe recipe and you put a different combo of veggies, I'd love to hear that too. Sometimes the veggies can alter the flavor. This was pretty good with the sauce, but I'd love to hear your ideas too. And I'll look at my chat. And it could go in a wrap or taco. That's exactly right. I love that suggestion from my dad. Cool. All right. Bye, guys. Have a great evening, and we'll see you next Wednesday. Bye.